Good morning and welcome to our Facebook Live today. It is Wednesday the 18th of May 2022 and we're continuing with our stamp set of the week, which is called Sending Smiles. And this was the card that we created yesterday. So we started to introduce the dies into our crafting. So earlier in the week we just did some straightforward stamping, as you can see here on the left. Yesterday we added the dies to cut out the flower detail and this lovely word sending, which has got a background. And I did discover during the live that the actual stamped image of sending fits in there as well. Today I thought we would use the catalogue example to case. You can find this example on page 14 of our annual catalogue, and that's this one here. And the one that we're going to copy is this middle card here. Now it's quite a small image, but I'm hoping you'll be able to see that. Good evening, Kerry. Thanks for joining us. So we're going to be doing this one here, and this consists of 3 pieces of coloured card. They've used in colours and some heat embossing in white. So I thought I would try and recreate that. And then some of the flowers, and they've also used the little flower dies that just cut out the flower shapes, and there's no stamp related. And I thought that was a really nice fun sentiment. So they've got birthday wishes, all the good luck and love and big hugs. So what I've got is I have just cut out 3 of those of the smaller die shapes, these little banners. And I'm going to use love and big hugs, birthday wishes, and I might just do hello. I might do, or I could do smiles, but yeah, I might just do hello. I'll see. I haven't quite decided. So I've got my 3 pieces cut here. Now you can stamp onto your card first, heat emboss, and then run it through your die cutting machine. The only thing that can happen if you do that is sometimes the heat embossing gets affected as it goes through the machine. It depends on your machine. So just to be aware of that. So what I'm going to do is stamp and heat emboss on my pre-die cut pieces. So I've got some very old Versamark ink, as you can see, but you can refill these. So although it looks rather ugly, it should be a clear pad to start with. You can just refill it with the Versamark refill and it will just keep going. This one predates Stampin' Up, so this one is at least 12 years old, if not longer than that. I've got my embossing buddy just to make sure there's no static on the die cut pieces, and then I have some white embossing powder that I'm going to use for my embossing. You could, if you wanted to do this without heat embossing, just stamp onto some slightly lighter card. So these 2 would work, and the Parakeet Party would work if you used a dark ink. But I haven't done heat embossing for ages, so I thought I would do some today. Hi Jeanette, I hope you're keeping well. Thank you for popping along this morning. And let's get cracking. So I'm just going to use the embossing buddy over these pieces. There we go. You can use a tumble dryer sheet if you've got one of those that you've allowed to dry. Okay, so let's grab a block and our sentiments. So what have we got? We've got birthday wishes. So let's do these one at a time, and then I'll pop them all through into the embossing powder. So this is quite a sticky ink, and I think what I'm going to do actually is just try it on here. Oh yeah, just to make sure there's enough ink on there. You can tell because you'll see the ink come, you'll just see the ink come through. This makes a great background as well, just using some Versamark. So we've got birthday wishes. I need to take my glasses off. Like so. There's that one. And what was the other one I was going to use? Love and Big Hugs. So I'm using the small sentiments, but you could use larger ones. Let's pop this one onto here. So I'm using some of the new in colours. This is Starry Sky, Tahitian Tide and Sweet Sorbet. Love and Big Hugs. And actually I might do, no, we're going to do hello. What does that come under? Oh, a card to say hello, that's it. Dear, dear. Okay. So for this one, I'm just going to cover up the rest of the sentiment, so I've just got hello. You could use our new masking paper. I just happen to have a bit of post-it note here. I'm hoping this will stick enough. Okay. Our masking paper would be perfect for that actually. So inking up the hello. Hope you can see that okay. It's a little bit low, isn't it? Sorry. Taking that away. And popping that in the middle. So I've got 3 little blocks, and also you could do this with any combination that you've got of sentiment. So if you've got any of our other sentiment sets that's got a lot of combinations of similar sizes, this would work. You could also do it with mixed sizes and fonts as well. Okay, so I'm going to hold this very carefully at the end. So there's our birthday wishes. And then love and big hugs. You can see that coming through. And then hello. Now you could repeat these if you wanted to and have multiples. I just need to brush a little bit of that off. Okay, because there's not much to fling. Okay, so I've got my 3 sets of sentiments and I've got my heat gun. So I'm just going to do this away from the microphone. So I've got my noisy one. There we go, and the last one. There we go. Sorry, I've got my noisy heat gun, not my Stampin' Up one. Okay, so those are my 3 that are now heat embossed. And what I'm going to do now is stamp a few flowers to put around it. And my card base is going to be a basic white card base. I'm going to cut this piece of designer paper. I really must order some more of this. I've used most of this up. This is our in colour designer paper. And then these are going to go on this like that. And then I'm going to pop the flowers on. So let's stamp a few flowers. So I'm going to use those same colours so that it all ties in together. And I'm also going to use these offcuts here for some of the little flowers. Okay, let me see who else has commented so I can acknowledge you. So Janice, how nice to see you. Zana, oh, and Zana, yes, heat embossing. One of my customers did some the other day, and she wasn't very happy with the gold embossing. It was very dull and discoloured. And I explained to her that the embossing powders can go off over a period of time. So I asked her how old these embossing powders were, and she said they're at least 20 years old. So you do need to make sure that you keep them in a sealed container with as little air as possible around them. So I transport mine into these plastic containers just to make it easy for class. But if I'm not using them for a while, what you really need to do is put them back in the small pot that they come in. Let me show you that. Ooh. So they come in pots like this, and then you're basically stopping the air getting to them, but eventually they can just dull. So if you, the other thing you can find is that you're overheating them. So if you overheat them, then the plastic content in there melts further, embeds into the card, and it just sort of breaks up. So there's a few things you can do if you are having any problems. Right, let's grab a piece of white card. Like so. And I just need to make sure my front door is unlocked. Bear with me a second. It is. Sorry, my daughter's due to pop in. Make sure I unlocked it from the evening. So let's grab some flowers. And do a quick amount of stamping with the 3 colours. So I've got this one here. Let's do that one in. The coordinating red. So this is Sweet Sorbet, And just remember to leave a little bit of a gap between them. I'm just doing 2 in case I need to. And then we've got this one. Let's do that in the Tahitian Tide. Actually, no, I'm going to do that in Starry Sky. So this morning it's a little bit brighter. We had quite a bit of rain yesterday, showers and things that came over, but no thunderstorms. Some of our team had thunderstorms the previous night, but they eluded us. I quite like a good thunderstorm, I have to say. But where we are, we tend to be fairly protected. Right, let's do this one in Tahitian Tide. So I'm really liking this stamp set. Sentiments alone, it's really good because you get 8 different sets of sentiments that you can also cut up. So you could have, you know, birthday hello or love and wishes, all sorts of combinations. Okay, let's do that. Let's just stamp one of the middles there. I'll just colour in the other middle. And there it is. So we had a great online team meeting yesterday. Always good fun to get together with our team, and there's a great joining offer at the minute, and we've had 4 people join our team already this month. And if you do join, you can choose £130 of products, whatever you want. So that could be stamp sets, it could be cardstock, and you pay just £99, and you will also receive an in colour pack worth £62.50, and that includes all of the ink pads, the cardstock, the papers like these ones, and the grid paper. So really good value. Right, I'm just going to do a centre of these. I might do Tahitian Tide. So with these in colours you can get all of our new normal products. So you've got inks, you've got ribbon, blends, pens, Stampin' Write markers, bit of everything. Okay, so I'm going to cut those out with our mini cutting machine. Obviously if you've got a large machine, that's fine. Let's just tuck those away. And I need my dies though. So I've got this one here. I'm going to cut out an individual leaf with this one here. So I haven't stamped it, I'm just going to cut that one out. I've got, I really do need to put these on a magnetic backing. That one there, and this one here, and that for the greenery. Okay, try not to lose any of those. Let me grab a little sliver of green for those. There we go. Just cut this little piece up here. Okay, and if I cut that in 2, I can cut two of those at the same time, like so. And then, oh, I need the little flowers for these. Okay, so I don't know if any of you here have got this set already, or whether it's on your wish list. Okay, there's the little flowers, and I'm going to cut those two at a time as well. Just cutting the pieces down so that I can put them through the die cutting machine together. There we go. Okay, let's pop this up. Make sure I don't lose my little sentiments. Oh, we developed a bit of a squeak there. Okay, so lay these out on here. Obviously I can only cut one of these stamped images at a time because I need to line them up. Got a bit of tape here. Oh, it's rather embedded, but it will do the job. So we're here at Wednesday already of the week. Oh dear, I don't know where it goes, but never mind. I hope everybody has something nice lined up today at some point. Whether it's seeing somebody or phoning somebody, catching up with somebody, checking in on someone. Okay, let's just put a little bit of tape on the side, and this one. Make that smaller. That one there, and then I've got my leaves that I'm going to cut through on that. Just spreading the load a little bit here, and then I've got two of those which I think will cut through fine, and that die there. I do like it when they have a larger die with multiples together, because you're less likely to lose the die. And oh no, just thought I found my missing stamp, but I haven't. Okay, so those are all loaded up. Let's pop those through. Hoping doesn't shake the camera too much. So we've got one of those. One of those. I'm going to put these back through to cut the other one in a second. And then we've got some leaves here. And then these cute little flowers. Like that. So let's just put those other flowers back through. So sorry, this is a little bit time consuming. I should have taken my glasses off. This was obviously a fluke when I put it on the first time round. There we go. Yes, it definitely was, because I didn't have to think about that before. So there's that one, got this one. Two, stay, and then this one. Okay, and then we'll have some more little flowers. I've got a little bit of that blue and blue. I think I'll get away with that on there. There we go. And with the leaves, what I'm going to do is just chop that in half and dot it around, rather than have to cut out some more. Being lazy. Okay, there we go. That's the painful bit done. Sorry, it's so boring to watch, isn't it? I suppose I could have prepared those before. There we go. Pop this on my knife block here. Voila. Right. Let's grab our base card here and our layer. Put my glasses on. Don't lose that, Jenny. Okay, so just going to trim this one to size. Oh, bless you, Kerry. So for those of you that don't know, Kerry's based in Australia, and she often has internet pausing issues. Okay, so I'm just cutting this down 14.35 by 10. And that's going to go onto here. And I can see the glue that I was using yesterday. Perfect. So this is some of that in colour designer paper. It comes 6 by 6 and you get all 5 colours, and there are 4 different patterns. So I've gone for the floral today. Yesterday, this is the reverse of the floral with the stripes, if you can see that. I think you could just make it out yesterday. Okay, so what I'm going to do is layer these 3. I think I might sandwich that one in the middle so it isn't lost too much. So those 3 are going to go on there, and then we're going to add the flowers around the edges. If they've... Okay, so they lifted this up onto a piece of white card, but I think I'm going to have mine straight onto here. But am I going to put them up on dimensionals? I think I'm going to do these flat and put the flowers on dimensionals. I'm going to sandwich the Starry Sky in the middle, because obviously that's the same colour as the background. And I'm just using a little of our glue. So I think what I'm going to do is put that one down first. No idea why I'm sitting at a funny angle. There we go. So love and big hugs. And then we've got hello. And then our birthday wishes underneath. So it's worth looking through your existing stamps to see if you've got some small sentiments that you could recreate this with. And although it's not very straight, although I've used these die cut banners, you could easily just cut strips of card if you wanted to and do that. Okay, and then I'm just going to decorate this with some of the flowers and the leaves. I might put that one. Those two, maybe with that one on the top. And then this one down here. And then I can drop the leaves in behind. And then we've got these tiny little flowers here. Oh yeah, the blue one wasn't very clever, was it? Because you're not going to see that. Never mind. You could also use sequins or something like that if you wanted to. Just poke out that centre. I've got to have another red one there, haven't I, somewhere? There it is. So because I cut the two out together, they do tend to stick together a little bit. Something like that. What do we think? Does that work? Let me just lift that up to the screen so you can see it a little bit closer. Bring that up there like that. Okay, so I'm going to pop these on with dimensionals and then tuck the leaves underneath. And obviously you could add, you know, much more detail in terms of the flowers. You could add bling, other, you know, other die cuts, whatever. So I've got that one there. This one. And then maybe put these two flat. And just cut up these leaves. I've got one there. Tuck that leaf in. This one. Try not to attach your fingers like I've done. And then this one can go on top like that. And there we go. So it took a bit of time. To be honest, the longest time was stamping and die cutting. There we go. And let's just tuck in some of these leaves as well. And then dot these flowers. Excuse me, I'm going to sneeze. Apologies for that. I'll cut a little bit more of that off actually. We're going to have this one down here. And again, just cut some off. Go. And I'm going to pop this one on as well. Okay, so sorry, a lot longer than I expected to be. Tuck that in there. Okay, and then I've got these three here. What I might do is just cut out a couple more, maybe in the green and the orange or something. And then I can put this one on the inside. And there we go. So these ones I could have cut out using silver adhesive sheets behind. But as long as you're gentle, a tiny dot of glue shouldn't come through. If you struggle to just get a small amount of glue out, then your best bet is to pop the glue onto a little spare piece of card and then just tap your die cut onto that. Like so. There we go. So there's our finished card. I might add a few more details in terms of those little flowers. And I'm just going to pop this flower on the inside and we're done. So something slightly different. And if you wanted to turn this into a man's card, you could just omit the flowers and maybe add some metallic details instead, or some die cuts or something. Let's pop this one on the inside. So just something different. So thank you for those who have booked my class in a box already. Booking closes strictly on Friday, and our online class is the following Saturday, and then our in-person class is Tuesday the 31st of May. So I'm really looking forward to those. It's been a popular class, so thank you for that. And you can take that class worldwide. If you're outside of the UK, you can just buy all the video tutorials and join the online class if you wish. So if that's of interest, just message me. It's £10 UK pounds, but you can pay that via PayPal in your own currency. So there we go, there's our finished card, cased from page 14. Slight difference in that I didn't add a white layer behind, but I think it works like that, especially with sandwiching the matching colour. But you could have different colours on there, and you could repeat these as well. You could have 3 birthday wishes if you wanted to. You could also add ribbon or baker's twine like we did yesterday. It's entirely up to you. So I'm pleased with that, a completely different look to this one. And that's why, if you're struggling for ideas, or if you've got a new stamp set, it's always worth looking through the catalogue. And if you keep old catalogues, you can do the same thing. Take a new stamp set and look for a different idea for a similar stamp set from an older catalogue. So thank you so much. That is our card finish for today. Thank you, Kerry. Oh, thanks, Jeanette. So we will be back tomorrow evening here in the UK, Thursday at 7 p.m. So I look forward to seeing you there. Well, I'll be using this stamp set again, Sending Smiles. If you have any questions on what I've created, or you need any help, then don't hesitate to message me or comment, and I'll get back to you in due course. Thank you so much, everyone. Let me just bring that back up to the screen so you can see it. Whoops, there we go. And I might add a little bit of bling on there as well. Thank you so much for now. Take care. Thanks for watching. Bye.